What a great start to my Friday talking to astronauts Megan MacArthur and Shane Kimbrough. First of all, how are both of you doing up there?
I think we're doing pretty well. We've been here for about 3 weeks, so we're settled in nicely and adapted pretty well.
And Megan, I'm watching both of you float around, and there's somebody else behind you, another astronaut floating around too. Do you ever get used to the zero gravity environment?
So you get good at it. You get good at flying around and being efficient with your movements, but I think your brain is still pretty well wired for 1G.
What about some of the simple things that we take for granted? Things like brushing your teeth, taking a shower. Are all of those things so much more trivial?
Well, you actually have to think about them a lot more here than you do on Earth. For instance, we don't have sinks up here, so we're used to swallowing our toothpaste these days. So that's not one of the benefits of being an astronaut, but it's one of the perks, I guess, and that we get to do. Showering is another thing. We don't have showers up here, so we just have towels that have soap inside of them, and you wet those down, and then you wipe off every day.
And I could not do an interview with astronauts from the International Space Station unless I asked about the food. What do you eat up there, and how do you store it?
So the dehydrated food, maybe for example, like a beef stroganoff, so beef with noodles, we rehydrate that and then we have a warming oven that we can put that in. We give it, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and then you cut open the package with a pair of scissors, and we pretty much eat all of our food with the spoon out of the packages. We have different kinds of soups. We have lots of different kinds of drinks, hot or cold. We do have a refrigerator.
What is the toughest part for both of you about being away from your families, and how have you been in contact with them?
We have good connectivity. We're able to make phone calls during the day, and then once a week we get a video chat with our families, so that's nice. But I have a 7-year-old son who isn't super excited about sitting still for a long time so mom can talk to him. But we do the best we can. I try to talk with them a little bit every day, and of course my husband as well.
Obviously, being up at the International Space Station, you're tasked with a lot of duties during the day. And from what I read, a lot of different scientific type of experiments going on up there. What do you think has been the most interesting thing that you've been able to do so far?
One of the things that is interesting about living on the space station is you're the one doing the science work as well as the one fixing the toilet. So you can cover both things in one day, which is interesting and also challenging, just to have to be able to switch your brain from one thing to another. The experiment that's taking up most of my time right now is called celestial immunity, and it's a really interesting experiment that involves looking at immune pathways that hopefully will help us discover new treatments for different diseases.
Megan, this summer you will turn 50 on the International Space Station. Did you ever dream when you were a child that at 50, this is where you would be?
I'm sure that as a child I thought by 50 I'd be in a rocking chair on a porch somewhere, but I feel full of life. Of course, I'm thrilled to be up here, and I'll be thrilled to be celebrating my 50th birthday up here with my friends.